And we're live. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Jody.
Hattie, I made it this time, and my phone didn't die. I tried to go live earlier today when I was fishing, and as soon as I hit go live, my phone went black,
that's why I didn't see anything.
and it went for like it's like almost 3 hours before I could get it turned back on.
Oh wow.
Yep.
We got 13 awesome people in here.
Howdy, everybody. I caught a flathead,
You did? What size?
11 pounds.
Sorry. I
You never guess what I did with it.
you threw it back?
I kept it. And
What? You
I,
put it in your fish tank?
I went to catch some to eat because my freezer was empty, and that's
Um,
the only one I caught. And my kids was coming in and they just wanted to eat some catfish.
hey.
That's the only second. That's the second flathead I've ever kept. The other one swallowed a hook.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
whenever they do that, I usually just cut the line and let them go.
you. This one was bleeding, and I didn't think it would live.
Wow, your dogs are going crazy.
Yeah, they're already starting. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about rods and reels and what we're using because I couldn't fish because of. I would have actually tried to fish, but nobody wanted me to. It's
Yeah,
only like 44 degrees here. It ain't that bad.
it's actually when I was out at the store earlier, it was 55 degrees here,
Yeah.
but it was a cold rain.
Hmm. It's raining, but it was. I think it was actually colder today when I was fishing. I could see my breath.
Yeah, so it was at least 40.
Yeah, so I think it
Wow,
warmed up a little.
probably.
Yeah.
There's a big storm coming through, but I'm not sure what it's going to do to Tennessee and Virginia area.
Hmm.
Well, if
I
you want, go
I
ahead.
can see chat. I can see somebody wrote they love the hat, but I can't tell what Ramsey, but I can't see the first name.
We must be thinking along the same lines. I was just getting ready to ask you if you wanted me to read through chat real quick.
Yeah, you better because I was calling somebody Daryl the other day, and her name was Danielle. She said you was calling me Daryl. She's like right here.
We got 29 awesome people in here. This is from earlier, but Scott Swift. See, Chillin' Indiana Carl said, "Hi, Jody," from a new channel member.
Woohoo! Thank you, Carl.
The Shizzles was in the house. Brokeback Bob was in here. Fish in the Mid South was in here. Said last. Let's see. 217 Rebel Outdoors says hello, everyone. Catfish Terry said, "No way, Jody is fishing." Hello, everyone.
Fishizzle's a channel member.
Catfish Fresno says, "Hi, Jody."
Howdy, howdy. How are you tonight?
Chris Everett says, "Good evening, good people, and Merry Christmas." Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Chris.
Hmm. Merry Christmas.
Catfish Cameron's in the house. Jabberjaw saying, "Hey, y'all."
Howdy do.
Wolves Den Outdoors official says, "Hey, y'all."
Howdy.
Ricky Ledford's in the house saying, "Hello, everybody."
Hey, Ricky.
Butterflies and Sunshine says she's napping. Jabberjaw said, "Where's she at?" Butterfly says she's napping. Let's see. Jabberjaw says 0 degrees and 3 inches of snow here. Wow. Ed Evans says, "Good evening, everyone."
Good evening.
Cali King 916 says, "Hello, Jody."
Howdy, Cat King.
Catfish Vikings in the house saying, "Hey." Hey,
Hey,
Chris Everett. Let's see. Butterflies and Sunshine said, "Hello, hello, all you wonderful people." You too, Ed.
mm-hmm. Bobcat's channel member.
Let's see. Palmetto Cats, Kevin's in the house saying, "Hey, Dustin and Jody."
Hey, Palmetto. Thanks for coming in.
Creo Catfishing says, "Merry Christmas, everyone."
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Hey, puppy. Skull Rush is in the house.
Skull Rush. How you doing, Skull?
Johnny Ramsey says hello all.
He say hello or hello?
Hello. HELLO.
Okay.
I had to sing that. Chris Shizzle's in the house. Let's see. Bobcat Outdoors. Let's see. I'm not almost to the end. Annette's catfishing. How you doing, Miss Annette? Is wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
Howdy, Annette.
Johnny Ramsey said we're getting hammered here in Indiana.
I heard it's going to be really bad there.
River Rat 3030 said Merry Christmas, everyone, from Dallas, North Carolina.
Dallas, North Carolina. Wow.
Never heard of it.
I ain't either, but it makes me want to Google it. It's different, Dallas and North Carolina.
Troy from Real Virtual Outdoors says hello, Jody and Dustin and chat.
Howdy do.
I think Troy won a Freddy rod today. An FOA rod.
On Freddie and Chad's show, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kevin Baker, Nuts and Bolts Fishing, says big screen, Jody.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Uh-oh, what did Bobcat say? He said fish gizzle. Fish Gizzle said, Bob, I hate you.
We've been calling him. I used to talk to text a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it don't understand me all the time. So when you see some of this crazy stuff in chat, I can't see what it wrote. So I don't know half the time, but I was saying for shizzle, and it wrote faux shih tzu.
Oh boy.
Kinds of names he gets called.
Yeah, I typed something in, not the voice to text, but I was typing stuff in, and every time I can't remember what name it was, but it changed it like 3 times. I had to delete the message 3 times before I got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Mike's Fishing Home says hello all, share it out of course. P.S. Don R is out and well if you hadn't heard yet. Oh, didn't know Don R was in
Today, up on screen.
What's that?
Don R.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in a couple people's panels today.
Oh. How you doing, Ed? Ed Evans.
Hey, Ed.
Big Skip Fishing says, what, no fishing? And we got dog barking. Well, the dog's going to interrupt. I'll go ahead and keep reading. Let's see. Bobcat says, put your glasses on, Jody. Shirley T, how you doing this evening? Chucky, what's going on? How you doing? Just going through, reading through. I don't want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Big Slim 91, how you doing? Says, let's go. Raw Woolly says, Merry Christmas, my flathead queen. Dogs right there. Catfish Viking says, my father is ignoring me. Uh-oh. You got to get his attention. Let's see. Becca Mudtramp, how you doing, Miss Becca? Says negative 15 degrees wind chill right now here in Texas, and I had snow flurries today. Wow. Let's talk about Texas. Whew. Oh, I love that picture, Jody. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I say hello to everyone. If I miss some comments, I do apologize. River Rat said, I want a reel from Robin C on Muskrat's channel. Can't wait to use it. Awesome. That's awesome that people do giveaways like that.
Okay.
Welcome back.
I feed him a treat.
Bobcat said she just abandoned you, Dustin. She would never do that.
Nah. I had to go get a treat, and I thought maybe if they had something to chew on, they wouldn't bark.
We got 41 awesome people in here. We're 10 minutes in. Real and Virtual Outdoors said, I bought a Freddy rod 2 weeks ago and won one tonight. Glad I waited to order a reel because now I need 2 reels. That's awesome. Yeah, it was Santa Claus Freddy and the Elf Chad. That's the way I saw it anyway.
What colors is the Freddy rod?
White.
Just solid white?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, he went with white and black. All right, I'm caught up in chat. Alvin says hi, Jody, and Dustin and everyone.
Alvin!
Bobcat said that dog's the same color as my Oreo, just bigger.
Mm-hmm. About 20 times bigger.
Whoa. Must be a small dog.
And he's a quirky boxer.
A corky?
Hey, look who it is.
Who?
I heard James.
Oh, yeah.
He was at
He was outside putting his brakes on.
Putting his brakes on?
Yeah, I got one side done.
His brakes went bad, and he was
And I kept driving on him, so it made him real bad.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
How you doing, James?
Tyson. Yeah, I tried to get her to go out fishing tonight, but she said, 30 below is a little much.
My
Yeah,
mom sent me a message saying, you better not go out on that water.
You better listen to your mother.
I do.
Homer, get off the treats. It's just hitting right now. It just started raining. It's getting cold fast.
Yeah, it's been raining here pretty much all day. Off and on.
I see Catfish Terry. How you doing, Terry? Hello, beautiful, and you too, Jody. Fishing the woods. Boy, he's a good one, ain't he? Never know what he's gonna say, but it's always funny, whatever it is.
There you go. That's just like whenever G Style comes into the chat, there's going to be a great question at some point.
Think that was worn out? Look how bad that's chewed up.
Uh-huh.
You change your rotors out too?
Yeah, because I was driving on the metal to metal for about a week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's what I do.
Robin C's in the house saying, howdy, everyone.
Hey, Robin. How you doing?
Hi, Robin.
How you doing, Robin? Douglas Fletcher says, hey, everybody. All right, so...
in the vehicle. I could have showed it to him.
All right, you want to start things off? Tell us what you got there with you, fishing rod wise.
Forward of the truck.
Is it locked?
Okay. First thing I got to show is one of my favorites, which is Chris Flores Blue Cat Rod. I've used those all summer, and I caught a lot of fish with them. Super sensitive.
What's is that a medium heavy?
Yeah, that's about all I eat. I like heavy and medium heavy.
Yeah, I like medium heavy. I've never used a heavy before, but I've used all medium heavies.
But it's a little more sensitive than like Uncle. Come on now, Rusty. He barks at if something's outside. He takes off. He won't hush up.
Yeah.
Wash up.
Okay, but it's more sensitive than Uncle Lou or a Mad Cat or a Big Cat Fever.
Okay.
Like, if anything gets on it, it'll bend it over some. So it's a little hard to tell, like, if it's going to be a big fish or not.
Right.
Because it is, it's that sensitive.
Makes for good video.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ancient Mariner rods do the same thing. The 7'6" rods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the same thing.
I don't know if you call it sensitive or if the backbone. I don't know which is which on it.
Well, I think that's definitely the sensitivity of it.
Yeah.
Dallas Liebert's in the house. How you doing, Dallas?
I have a lot of these with the Kuma CLX reels.
Ed wants to know if that's the one you get your hair wrapped up in.
There's no hair in this reel.
She cleaned that one, Ed.
I've actually riddled sometimes. I don't know if any of them's got hair in them right now. I've been actually trying to watch it. Usually what happens is I get a fish and I choke up on it. And when I choke up on it, it makes me pull it up and then my hair gets in it.
Donald Long says, good evening, Jody, Dustin, and those in the chat. How you doing, Donald?
Howdy, Donald. I use these a lot. And I thank Chris for giving them to me. I really appreciate it. And the next one I'll show you is a Uncle Lou rod. Try and get them untangled. I guess I'll show whichever one I get untangled first.
Fish in the Mid-South says, does Jody wear the same wig in from Wayne's World?
Wayne's World.
Party on.
It's been a long time since I watched that.
Troy M. Iowa said, hope you're all keeping warm down there.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah,
I need to start taking my weight.
70 degrees in my house.
I would have liked to have been fishing.
Yeah, so Fizzle says, party time. Excellent.
There you go.
Fishing and Freedom, how you doing? It says, what's up, Dustin and Jody?
We're looking at some rods and
What's
reels.
going on? Pork Chops in the house says, hello, everyone.
Hey, Porky. This is a medium heavy Uncle Lou's rod. Very pretty. You can't beat them. It's got all the eyes and stuff on them. Very nice.
That's a 7'6" rod, correct?
Yep.
How many eyes does it have?
I think it's got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
Okay.
I got a triple C angler spook on it. And Ricky gave me this one from Whisker and Dreams.
Nice.
So thank you for that. And I got with a PC Fun reel that Brokeback Bob gave me.
Okay. I love the blue color, blue and black.
Yeah. I did have the orange one on it, but I switched them out for some reason. Can't remember why.
LG Bass is in the house. How you doing, Tom? Says, hello, Jody and Dustin.
Howdy, Tom. How you doing?
Crappie Day Fish On says, hello, all awesome folks.
Howdy. I think my last PB come on that rod.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Eventually, Robin C said, just so you know, I'm dealing with a lunatic puppy. He doesn't realize he is the size of a miniature pony.
The next one is a big cat fever rod my friend Brandon gave me. He sells bait down here at Watts Bar. It'd be Watts Bar Bait and Tackle. And I've actually got this Ancient Mariner reel on it that Annette and Chucky sent me.
Nice. 6,000 series.
Yeah. And it's my best casting reel I got. I can cast it farther than any of them. The next one is PC Fun.
And I love the drag on the Ancient Mariner reels.
Mm-hmm.
It's not jerky; it's smooth.
Yep. And this is actually, I don't know if you can see it. I use everything. Ed Evans gave me that sinker.
So I saw that's a sink. That's a slide sinker. Flat no roll. But what was on your other one?
It was a cannonball, I think.
Do you use different types of sinkers for a reason, or just because that's what's available?
Because that's what someone's given me. Actually, Brokeback Bob gave me that one. So yeah, and it's I got it on a clip. That one slides.
Yep.
And this one is a one James made the other day.
He made the sinker.
Yep.
Yeah. Jeff Beal gave us a couple of those 8-ounce type sinkers
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Fish in the Mid-South says Fashizzle. Let's see. What did Fashizzle say? I don't want to miss anything. Ask Jody if she has swapped to braid yet.
I lost one of the biggest fish of my life this summer on that braid.
Ooh. Fish in the Mid-South says Fashizzle. No, she avoids braid and sticks with curly hair.
Hey, Chris Flores, you just missed me showing your rod.
Rod Knockers Fishing's in the house saying Fish in the Mid-South. I'm showing 10. Oh, see.
Yeah.
Fishing the Squirrels in the house says Jody, you got me an orange fishing pole for Christmas.
No.
Dan Thompson's in the house saying good evening, everyone.
Howdy do.
Fishing the Squirrel said, go Tigers.
This is just a white big cat fever rod.
Yep.
It's one of the first ones I ever got because Catfish Dave used them.
Ah.
And that's the only reason I got it. Because I used to be a Catfish Dave junkie. Anybody who fished Tennessee River, Big Mike, Catfish, Cats, I watched their stuff religiously.
Now, I'm sure he's a big Pontoon Jody junkie.
I don't know about that, but I learned a lot from all of them. Because they fished the same places I fished. Big Mike didn't, but I just liked watching him. I liked his content.
Right.
And then I moved on to Daryl and Bobcat. You know, you learn people from chat, and then you start checking channels, and it broadens you to watch other people.
Absolutely. Crazy Hillbillies in the house says good evening, y'all. With snow cloud icons and snowman icons.
And then this is a Penn Warfare, I think the 30. It's the biggest one I have.
Buck Williams wants to know how many of those rods did you actually buy versus people giving them to you?
I've only had 3 give to me. Oh, rods?
Yeah, rods.
Oh, rods. Let's see. Well, Brandon gave me the green Big Cat Fever. Ricky gave me the orange Uncle Lou's. Chunky gave me 2 of his chunky rods.
Oh, wow.
Chris Flores gave me 6 of the Blue Cat Fever rods. My girls bought me 2 Uncle Lou rods one year for Christmas. And then somebody gifted me this one, which is it's my newest one. And it's the only one I've got of this brand. It is a Mad Cat rod. Okay. It's the Patriot.
Yeah, I really like the handle colors for the Mad Catz rods.
Somebody told me that one comes in red too. But that's a different type of sinker that Brokeback Bob gave me.
That's the kind Ed gave us. We have a lot of those disc sinkers. Yeah. That's all I use now. I'm an Ed Evans sinker guy.
That's a Minotaur hook. They sent.
Oh, okay.
They're extremely sharp.
Fishman Mid-South said, Brokeback Bob gave you a PC fund? Dang it, I was going to give her one.
He gave me 2. Okay. And this is a heavy Mad Cat, and I really like it.
Okay. Alvin Lewis said, hashtag Jody's rod reel giveaway for Christmas.
A real giveaway? This one here was the Warfare. That's a 100-pound line.
100 pound? Holy cow.
It's my donkey pole.
I don't know that you need that much that heavy a line unless you're. What are you fishing for? Sharks?
I can play the banjo on it.
You are in Tennessee. You are in Tennessee. Yeah. When in Tennessee.
There is a banjo in my house.
Fish in the Mid-South said, so random guys send Jody stuff. I need to be a woman.
Well, no. They're all friends.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. The Shizzle said, Bob's sinkers are all flat on the bottom. Let's see. I'm way behind. I'm still trying to catch up. Squirrel said, you can identify Mid-South, but it probably won't help get you gear. Let's see. Two stands fishing threes in the house. He says, what's up, Mr. 55? What's going on, stand three?
Hey, did you get a 55?
I did. On stand day. Sunday.
I missed it then, didn't I?
Oh, I think so.
I might have been watching. I can't remember.
It was first thing. I mean, we went live. We had the rods in the water. Stand three took us to a spot I'd never been to before because I didn't know my boat could get there. And the plan was to put two rods in the water to test it and see if we could get anything. But after we got everything anchored up, we just started throwing rods out. So we had 5 rods out in the water before we knew it. And I can't say I pulled a Jody, but we had the rods in the water, and Stan 3 was talking about a 63-pounder he had caught. Mm-hmm. And I sat down. We were on my boat. I sat down on the back seat. I said, wouldn't it be awesome if one of these rods went down? And as soon as I said that back rod, it started peel and drag.
Wow.
And it took off. It was going with the current for probably about 45 seconds before I get it to stop. Mm-hmm. And it took me 20 minutes to get to the boat because I was pulling it against current and it was a 55-pound blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was so much fun.
It's hard, ain't it?
It is. My bicep was burning.
Yeah.
You can see me in the video. I'm like, I was pointing at my arm. I had to switch arms. He goes, what's wrong? Your arm sore?
Mm-hmm. When I caught my PB when we was live one night, it was in current. And I couldn't net it. Remember, I had so much trouble because as soon as I stuck the net in current, it was trying to rip it out of my hand.
Yep.
And I just could not. Took me forever to net the thing. That wore me out.
Yeah, I'm glad that I had both stand 2 and stand 3 on the boat with me because I don't know that I've been able to net that thing. I probably could have, but it would probably took me 45 minutes to get that thing in and then netted. I
was right below the dam. That's what gave me so much trouble.
Well, we actually were right below. If you looked out the bow of the boat, you could see the rapids from the James, like because there's some rapids up in the city, and you can see them. And we were in some pretty strong current. Mm-hmm. So I probably could have done it, but it would have been taking me a lot longer. Bobcat says, "I need a Mr. Blue Cat rod in my life."
You can go to his website and get them, or you can get them at CatCon.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with them.
Let's see. Cool Cat's Fishing's in the chat. How you doing? I wonder where he came from.
I don't know.
Oh, speaking of G-Style Fishing, how you doing, G-Style?
That was me.
Uh-oh, I heard the Chewbacca mask.
I got one for Christmas at work.
I saw that.
Yeah. I picked it up.
Danny's still outdoors. What's going on, brother?
Howdy.
He said, I was there when Jody lost that fish. Shortly after I lost a massive fish. It was devastating.
Yep. No, that was a different fish. I've lost so many big fish this year. Looks like I've learned my lesson. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I do wrong, and sometimes I try to horse them in.
And sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Stan was on a nice one. The rod went down that same stand day. The rod went down, and it was a nice fish. I could tell. I handed him the reel, and he was the rod. The Ancient Mariner here was bent over, and he said it was a nice fish. And all of a sudden, the hook just popped out of his mouth. What's Chewbacca doing? I want to know.
Let's see.
Daryl's in the house saying hello all. Fish in the Mid-South says she's too pretty to buy a rod. Bobcat. Rod Knockers Fishing, how you doing? Let's see. Creo Cat Fishing Bobcat. I judge rods on versatility. Blue Cat rods are number one on my boat for that. Huh. I'm gonna have to ask you at some point when you're up on screen, Creo, what you mean by versatility. That's an interesting concept. Mighty River Captain said, "Dang, 6 rods. I must be a Jody fan." I don't know. You find anybody that's not a Jody fan, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Missy Kennedy's in the house saying, "Hey, peeps." Uh-oh. Hey, wait. Hey, Chewbacca, have you seen Jody?
The dogs don't approve of it.
I hear that. Oh, Ed said he just bought a mold to make 8 and 10 ounce sinker those sinker weights, the disc weights. That's awesome.
I got this at work.
I've seen those before. Somebody made a TikTok short or a video on that. The lady, she couldn't stop laughing. I can only imagine what you would have been like when you got yours.
I actually stole it from somebody. It's like that white elephant thing.
Yep.
And I stole it.
Chris Everett said I was going to order me 2 Uncle Lou rods for Christmas. Then I got a speeding ticket. Oops, you must have been hanging out with Jody.
Yep. Hey, guess what?
What?
I got something in the mail from the police.
Uh-oh.
And I thought, crap, what have I done, you know? And it was a jury summons.
Uh-oh.
I never had one before.
Now you got jury duty.
And it's all because of that ticket.
No, it's not.
And then I got another one in the mail, and it said I could go to traffic school now.
Ah.
Yeah. I got something else for Christmas.
Oh, you did?
James got me this.
Oh, look at that.
A Yeti bucket.
Nice.
It's got that thing around the bottom.
Yep.
The fancy lid.
Nice.
And let's see if I open it.
Fish in the Mid-South said, "Did Jody just say I have no friends?"
Yeah. And it had that in it. That divider.
Oh, nice.
Pretty spiffy.
That is. All right, so let's see. Buck Williams. Okay, so I told you G-Style asks good questions. Says G-Style says, "Oh, hey, Paige. My puppy's in here now."
Your puppy?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Say hi.
Oh, it's a big puppy.
Yeah, she's not a puppy.
Yeah.
She's 4 or 5.
Wow.
Paisley, you want to say hi? Oh, that's my fishing rod. No, up here. Say hi to everybody. Say hi.
Hi.
No, you don't
Dogs
do
see when you do that at them.
She does not seem amused at all. So G-Style said, "How many weights do you carry on a trip, and what size are the most popular to use in current?"
I've had to put 2 8s down just to keep it down before underneath the dam.
So, for my answer to that question is, 1, it depends on how much current you're talking about. 2, it depends on where you're positioning the rod. And what I mean by that is, if you're going straight behind you, you just need enough weight to keep the weight of the bait on the bottom. So when we were in current on stand day, I had 6 ounce disc weights on, and that was holding as the lines were probably about 30 degrees or straight behind the boat, it would hold them there. But if we tried to put a 6 ouncer off to the side, it was going to come right back to the back. You were probably going to need 10 to 12 ounces to hold it on to a 90 degree. Sometimes sometimes in the James, the current's so strong, I'd need a 10 ounce just to hold it at a 30 or 45 degree angle. And then maybe a 6 to 10 ounce may not even hold, if the current's strong enough, may not even hold the bait on the bottom behind the boat. But most consistently, I use the 6 ounce disc sinkers until I get some 8s or 10s from Ed.
I use 5 to 8 ounces. And then if the dam's ripping, when I blow it, I'll clip another one on it just so it go to the bottom. If not, my bait's up at the top. Down 100 yards down, it'd be on top of the water.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people don't think about, because I know I didn't. Like if you're in a lot of current, and say you put a 4 ounce weight on, you don't know unless you felt that weight hit the bottom. Then you don't know, your bait could be halfway up the water column.
That's something else with using these spooks too. You got to be careful.
Yep.
Because they'll if you use these slides, I've had my bait be on top of the water with a peg float and with a spook.
Wow.
So I've been trying to get the 3-way and start clipping in it and making my leader line longer, but I'm not going to switch it over yet, all of them.
Yeah. I only use my 3-ways for suspended rods, but that's a good idea. But I always try to keep because I have the sinker slides as well. And I like to keep my lines tight. So that way I know that it's pulling against that sinker slide's pulling against the swivel. So I know they're right up next to each other, and they're probably combined. Let's see. I know I missed a lot of comments earlier. Weed Hopper, what's going on?
Part of it's my fault, because when I cast, I'll see that sinker slide at my line.
Yep.
So I reel in, tighten it up and stuff, and I'm hoping it brings it back. Right. But I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah. I mean, without being able to see under the water, you just never know. You just have to, I guess you just have to know what it feels like.
Yeah.
See, Danny Stone said, I sat in the basement on stand day for 15 minutes because of that fish. That's my 55-pounder.
I was watching. I remember. Loki trapping. How you doing?
Fish in the Mid-South says, G-Stop depends on which river. Current on the Tennessee ain't the same as the Mississippi. There you go. Stan 3 said that current was ripping there. Sorry, I know I'm a little behind in chat. I'm gonna see. Rod Knocker said, I got about 50 pounds of weight in the boat, 8 to 12 ounce used mostly. Now I also do. I have my disc sinkers, my 5 and 6 ounce disc sinkers in my tackle box. But my little tackle purse that I showed off that one night. I also have my 2, 3, and 4 ounce drifting weights, my dragging weights, my rock bottom sinkers from Brad Cottle.
Yeah. Weed Hopper, he's kind of new to the community. He's in everybody's chat.
Yep.
And I don't know if anybody's watched his stuff or watched his lives. I'm very impressed with him. He knows what he's talking about. Stuff I never even dreamed about, the stuff he catches,
Right.
These different fish and stuff. But it's very interesting to listen to him.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his lives.
Yeah.
Let's see. Buck Williams said, yes, I love my Paula Smith rod. Great rod. Stan 3 said they are category 5 or stage 5 rapids. So one thing about the James River, it's the only river in the country. They told us this on a tour, a Segway tour my wife and I did of a cemetery right off the river. But it's the only river in the country that has all 5 stages of rapids.
Really?
Yeah.
I got a fun fact.
What's that?
Bobcat used to be a raft guide.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't picture that.
It was before he was a bobcat.
Bobcat might put holes in the raft.
He goes, now when he gets around him, he goes,
Creole Catfish said, G-Style, we use an average of 3 to 4 ounce per mile per hour of current as a general rule. Okay. That's a good rule to keep in your head.
yeah.
Let's see. Good ratio, Creole. And now I think that's accurate, Rodknocker said. Bob Gaines, how you doing? Welcome in.
Howdy.
Stonefly71, what's going on?
Howdy.
Stonefly said, use double hooks if you keep losing them or go a little smaller on bait. Okay.
I lost some today. But my bait wasn't that big. I had a bunch of bluegill heads. That's all I used.
Right.
And it took the rod down, and I reeled on them like 30 seconds, and then it just come loose.
Huh. Yeah, we had so one of the things too that I don't know if you were, I'm trying to remember whose chat it was. Somebody was talking about sometimes the fish will just go up and grab the end of the bait, and they'll just sit there with it, or they'll kind of pull it in a little by little.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that 33 pounder did on Saturday.
Yeah.
That I caught. I had that fillet out there, the filet, and the rod tip just kept going like this, and I'm like, I'm like, is this a short bite or what's going on with it? And I didn't want to pull it too early because I felt once earlier I'd pulled the bait right out of a fish's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So we just let it sit there for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. But then a huge pleasure boat came by with his back end buried, and he had rolls coming off his wake.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I don't pull this in, if I don't set this hook now, it's going to pull the bait right out of its mouth. So I picked it up and I set the hook and I reeled it in. But yeah, so I've had that happen. We had a lot of short bites, and that's one of the reasons I'm going with those jigs to try to see if I can alleviate the short bite. See if I can maybe get them on that jig. And with the ones Missy Kennedy just made me, which I'm excited, I can't wait to start using. I think those are going to be hopefully alleviate any short bites.
Yeah. The stinger rig.
Yeah, the stinger rigs.
My first PB this year was on James had tied a stinger rig, and I caught that fish with it. It was that setup.
Okay.
I was actually, and it was on braid. It was on the J Dog rod, which he gave me. It was a Berkeley Big Game spinning rod, and I'd give up on it. I had it out over 4 hours, and I didn't think anything would hit it. You know, it was a big head.
Right.
I was asleep, and and a bird landed on one of them big birds landed on my gate by my bait and woke me up. I guess it was the bird. I heard something woke me up, a loud noise. It could have been the pole drag. I don't know. But I screamed at the bird, and then that pole took off singing.
Nice.
And I got up and reeled it in. It was a 51 pounder.
Nice. Let's see. Whisker Dream says, hello, Jody and Team Snag and Whiskers. How you doing, Whisker Dreams?
Howdy, howdy.
Griffin Fish Room. How you doing?
How you doing, Griffin?
G-Style says, does the Ancient Mariner reels come in custom color, or are the Ancient Mariner 7000s coming out in different colors? So no, they don't come in any custom colors. They come in multitude of colors, though. I mean, he's got pink, red, purple, silver, black, orange, blue.
Silver.
What's that?
Silver.
Yes. And I believe the left-handed one comes in a yellowish color as well, but that doesn't come in the right-handed one.
Okay.
And the 7000 is just in black, and that's a bit bigger.
I know about them because Annette and Chucky give me one, but you know, I'm sponsored by Triple City Anglers,
right?
And they sell them. You can get them on the website. They also started selling the Pin Squall too. And you can get your spooks, hooks, sinker slides, all kinds of stuff from there. And good products. But you know Ancient Mariner another way. How do you know them?
Well, we're sponsored by Ancient Mariner.
Yep.
So all of our gear when we're out doing our lives, all of our gear, but our rods and our reels are Ancient Mariner rods and reels. So here is, I was going to show this too. This is the original. This is the first Ancient Mariner I got. It's got the black foam handle with the locking nut for the reel seat. It's all metal here. And the eyes, I love how big the eyes are, how thick they are. And this is the 7'6" medium heavy, and it can hold 1 to 12 ounces. And oh, hello, I caught one of my sinker slides. Yeah, there we go. It can hold 1 to 12 ounces of weight on it, and it says 10 to 65 pound line. But I just use the orange Whisker Seeker 30 pound mono. I don't say that as I primarily. I mean, I only use it, but I primarily, that's all we use is the orange 30 pound mono.
Yeah.
Now this is the 7,000, or excuse me, the 6,000 blue Ancient Mariner reel. With they all come with power handles.
Yep.
And like Jody said, these things cast like a dream. I mean, they're so smooth. Matter of fact, I casted out the side. I went a 90-degree cast on Sunday, and I just barely flicked it. And we were probably about 75 yards from the bank, and I ended up on the bank. So apparently I was trying to bank fish from the boat.
Yeah. I actually looked at a blue one today. There's a bait shop down here called Thompson's Bait and Outdoors. I stopped in, and because they sell skipjack and stuff, and I didn't have any bait to fish with.
Right.
And they started carrying the Ancient Mariners, and I looked at that blue one.
Nice. Yeah, here's the blue one again. Now these are the same rods. The Challenger rod, the 7'6" Challenger rod. But he has now changed the foam for the handles to match his reel colors.
Oh.
So you can buy a Challenger rod in any of the colors he sells his reels in. So those are what Sean and I each have 2 of those. And then I've got another.
Skookle.
What?
Skookle, did I say it right?
Oh, my shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ed Evans Skookle.
That's the first time I've ever said it right in my whole life.
I'm so proud of you.
Uh-huh.
I'll get back. We're gonna get to chat here in a minute. But I want to show this. I've still got a bunch of grass on this one. But this one right here is the Leviathan rod. And it's a 7-foot rod. This particular one's called Amy Jane because she's the one that bought it for us, and she told me I had to name it after her.
Well.
So this one is a 7-foot medium heavy. It can hold 20 to 50 pound line and 2 to 6 ounce sinker. Well, it says lure, 2 to 6 ounce lure, but I'll put an 8 ounce weight on this, no problem. And this one's because it's shorter, it's a little bit more stiff. But this is one of my favorite reels right now. This is the new Ancient Mariner Ocean Tycoon low profile casting reel. And this thing, I'm telling you, this thing is so smooth when you cast it. It's got the thumb press for the release.
Yeah.
It's got a worm gear in it with an eye. It clicks.
Yeah. Could you use that for bumping since it's got that thumb?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I got it. I need to learn how to do it. I was trying it on Sunday and I wasn't very successful. I need to learn how to bump. But so the main differences from the Leviathan rod versus the Challenger rod are the length. Like I said, this one's a 7-foot rod. The reel seat is plastic and it does not have the locking nut on it.
Yeah.
And it does not have a hook keeper, that little piece of metal here.
Yeah.
He did say when I asked him about it after I got one, he did say he might put it on the next rendition of the Leviathan rod.
Okay.
But yeah, I like how sturdy that one is. Like I said, I use that mainly for my suspended rod.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing about the Ancient Mariner rods, I believe, come with a 2-year warranty. I'm not exactly. Thank you, Ed. I'm not exactly 100% sure on the warranty for the rod. But if anybody has any questions, I will double check that. It is on their website, I believe, which is ancientmarinerfishing.com.
Mm-hmm.
But their reels, all of their reels have a lifetime warranty on them. And I don't know of any other reel out there that has that kind of warranty on it. There may be, but I'm not aware of them.
Yeah.
And I'm also not aware of another reel, another company that has reels in as many colors as Ancient Mariner comes out with.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
With the warranty though, the only thing that you're going to have to pay for if something happens to your reel, and that's if something mechanical happens, like if a gear locks up in it, or if the worm gear goes out, or if something like that, then you will have to pay for shipping to him, to Captain Spiro, who owns the company,
Mm-hmm.
and he will then fix the rod at his cost, or the reel at his cost, and then he will ship it back to you at no charge. But you'll have to pay to get it to him. He told me one time somebody tried to send him a rod, or reel one time in an envelope like this, because apparently they had run over it and it was in a bunch of pieces, and they wanted his warranty to cover that.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. I know a while back, probably, and I think it was in the spring, somebody asked about interchangeable parts with, I can't remember the name they were talking about. It was some company that I haven't heard very good reviews about. But there are parts on this reel that you can interchange. I mean, there's parts on any reel you can put in other reels.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mine messed up somehow. Of course, it was me. Of course. Hey, I take care of my stuff. I put it up, but I don't maintenance it.
Right.
Because I really don't know how. I'll spray that real magic on it and stuff like that, but that's about it. But I messaged him, and he actually sent me a message and told me how to. He when I told him what it did, he said, "I know what's wrong with it," and then sent directions on how to fix it. And then James took it apart and redid it. But I got the line, the screws come loose, and then I reeled the line up in it.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't done any kind of maintenance on ours, and I haven't taken one apart just because I don't have any extras to do so with at this point. That's one of my things I'm going to do this year. And I may, I don't know, I'll take it apart and because I feel mechanically inclined enough that I feel like I'd be able to do it. But that's another thing with him as far as the warranty goes. If you feel like you can handle the repair yourself, he'll mail you the parts and you can just fix it yourself. You don't have to pay anything.
And you don't have to be without a reel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Creo said, I haven't tried the Ancient Mariner reels yet. Tough to get away from my pens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has the reels that they love, and we just happened to start to really fishing when I came across Ancient Mariner through Dieter Melhorn. Pinky, yep. And he tried to break that thing. He's taken it saltwater fishing. He's done everything to that thing that you can think of, and it's still going. And matter of fact, this year he's all Ancient Mariner on his boat. All his reels are Ancient Mariner reels this year in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Zebco 888 that he was going to last year.
Uh-huh.
I used to use Zebco 888. That's one of the first ones I bought because it was cheap, and you can pull a log in up off the bottom of the lake with it.
Wow.
Them things were strong. I caught 45 pounders with them.
Nice.
But so you men, let your woman use a push button. Who cares what she uses as long as she goes with you?
Right. It doesn't. Well, and it's not about being a man or a woman. It's about being comfortable with what you're using.
Exactly. I see nothing wrong with them. I mean,
No, my wife uses the PC Fun spinning reels,
yeah.
and she loves them when she goes out.
I can't use spinning reels. It's all I'm awful at them. I get them tangled up. Oh my God. You should see the mess. And that's the one things I use braid on. And
Okay.
get them things and they're unusable. Someone has to go behind me and help me because I reel them up under it somehow.
Weird.
And I cast them not good either. I cast them weird. I don't cast them right.
I got you. So let's see if I can get caught up on chat real quick.
All right. I put it in the link in chat if anybody wants to come up and show what they use.
Loki Trapping Adventures says hello, Pontoon.
Howdy.
Now I am about 20 minutes behind in chat because we were doing our show and tells. So Weed Hopper's in here. Stan 3 says I got to try the Ancient Mariner finally. They are smooth and well built. You see and feel the quality. It's always nice to have somebody of Stan 3's quality fishing, out there saying nice things like that about equipment like that. So let's see. Oh, sorry.
I like a big reel.
What's that?
I like a big reel. When I get a big fish, I like to power one in. Which is why I like these big pin warfares. But they don't cast as well as the others, and these are very hard to carry around because they take up much room and they're heavier. But you carry like 6 or I carry like 12 on the boat.
Don't lie, you carry like 20.
It's hard to carry. It's harder to get these on the boat than it is these smaller reels because it's easier to combine them together, condense them.
Right. G-Style, I see your question. We'll come back to that here in a minute.
It's easier fishing with the smaller reel.
So, like I said, I'm about 19 minutes behind in chat. Weed Hopper wanted to say thank you, and he appreciates that for mentioning him earlier. Bobcat said it's not stages, it's classes of rapids.
Okay.
Stan 3 said that's why it's called the River City. That's right. Marlove 82's in the house.
Howdy.
Rod Knockers Fishing said, I'm not convinced the Ancient Mariner is not rebranded. They are not rebranded Mean Yangs. That's the one that he was talking about. They are not rebranded Mean Yangs.
Yeah.
I've talked to Captain Sparrow. He swears up and down that they are not. So, I mean, I can only go by his word, and I don't have any reason not to doubt him. Or I don't have any reason to doubt him, I mean. There's a lot of reels out there that look identical. I mean, these, if you want to say they look like the Mean Yangs, they look a lot like the Abus, too.
And the Soiloing, something like that. Soiling on Amazon. I've had one of those. That's what I learned to cast on. And I caught a lot of fish on it, but I wore it out in a year.
Gotcha.
Souylaing, something like that.
Jimmy Graham's in the house saying hello, everyone.
You blinking an awful lot.
Who, me?
I was trying to read chat. I blink a lot when I'm trying to read chat.
My eyes are heavy because I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Said Bobcat says we grade river here in the U's from class 1 to 6. Class 6 is unnavigable. Gotcha. Twisted Tackle Fishing, how you doing?
That's Magic Pat. He started a new channel.
Okay.
It used to be Real Beast.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stan, let's see. Bobcat said 2 stands, fishing 3, could be stand 3. Oh, could be. Let's see. I ain't going down them. I'll tell you that. Yeah, me either. I'll leave that to the thrill seekers. I'll get my thrills from catching big fish. See, Creo said Rod Knockers, the Ancient Mariner brand was started by a former Abu Garcia engineer, I believe. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was. Thank you, Creel. Yeah, Stan3 said they look like the Swedish Abus from Shore for sure, Creel. Let's see, Creel.
Your link, if anybody wants to click on it and sub to you, you got a range. You should be able to drop it in there.
Who you talking about? You talking to me?
Anybody can drop their link. Magic
okay.
Pat. That's the reason I gave you wrenches. You drop your links.
Right. Let's see. Don R's in the house. Did it sing a Christmas song? I'm not sure what you're talking about. James Bailey catfishing says hello, Jody, my friend.
Howdy, James.
How you doing, James Bailey? Thanks for coming in. Stan3 said, "Can you tell he's a Denver fan?" Yes, that's the story behind the orange line, the orange whisker seeker line we have.
Ooh.
What?
Pat, wrench.
Let's see. Bailey, William, we'll see. Oh, Butterflies and Sunshine. So I was telling you, good job on pronouncing Schuylkill earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people can't say it right. It's a PA thing. Jacob Hagen's in the house saying, "Hey, favorite, how you doing, Jacob? Sorry I didn't get back to you the other day." Donar, let's see. Tell Sean thanks. I will let him know. Yep, I'm glad you got him, Jacob. Let's see. Joe Harschenberger said a big hello to all the Catfish family. Just wanted to say hello and to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. For all that is in the area of this crazy cold blast of weather, please stay warm and safe.
Yep.
And if you check on your neighbors too. Very important. Troy from Real and Virtual said, "I will be putting an 888 on my Freddy rods."
Yep.
Nice. White Man Curtis said, "Hello, Jody and Dustin. Merry Christmas." How you doing, Curtis?
Merry Christmas.
Brokeback Bob, I will give you an update on our watch hours here shortly. Let me get through chat real quick because I'm just about caught up. Let's see. Big Slim 91 says, "I'm the only one that pushes buttons." Danimals Creations and Adventures says, "Hey, Dustin and Jody. How you doing, Danimals?"
Howdy, Dan.
Thanks for coming in. Buck Williams said, "Jody, if you can't use spinning reels, you have my address." Just saying.
He won Paula Smith rod that Chris Flores gave away in my 1,000th subscriber thing.
Oh, okay.
Paula Smith rod. I seen that at CatCon last year. That's a beautiful rod. It's
I
white.
heard about it. Nice. Daniel said, "I haven't used my 808 in a long time, but I get an 888. I like the Zebcos." Brokeback Bob, how you doing? Let's see. Daniel 45 says, "How's it going?"
Howdy, Daniel 45.
Let's see. Rod Knockers, the old Tiger spin cast combos caught tons of big fish. Just set drag every time. Drag been known to lock up after not used. Let's see. Twisted Tackle said, "Wake up, Jody. You're blinking an awful lot." You must have read that earlier.
Yeah.
Ricky Ledford, how you doing? Said, "I stayed as long as I could. Good night, everyone." All right, Ricky, thanks for coming in. That was like 5 minutes ago, so sorry I'm late on that. Let's see. Clinton G. He was the Soilang are the ones from Amazon. I have one. It works pretty well. Well, Jody left us.
My bad.
Where'd you go?
I tried to hit paste. I hit text. I'm going to drop the link one more time, but no one will probably come up, but it'd be there if they want to.
All right. Ed Evans said, "Jody gave me a left-handed wrench, and I'm right-handed."
I did that for meanness.
Let's see. Buck Williams, Ed, I will do it for you. Oh, Daniel's got a new career. He says, I'm great. Found out my starting date for the new career. Awesome. Fish in the Mid-South says, new career. Tell more.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-South, I'm going to be an aircraft engine mechanic at Tinker Air Force Base. Wow. Well,
That's
congratulations.
a big change from a crane operator.
Yeah. Susquehanna Stan says, hey, everyone. Can't believe it's almost 50 degrees here.
Wow. Hey, Stan.
It is 45 degrees here in Chester, Virginia, just south of Richmond.
Guerrero.
Pork Chop said they put me in a level 1 snow emergency.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. Catfish Fresno said Mid-South has his new career will bring showers of dollar bills. He just say aircraft mechanic.
Yep.
The animal said 4 degrees here. Only made it up to 5 today.
Wow.
Yep. Oh, wow. Mid-South said, oh, wow, Dustin's caught up.
Yay.
Guerrero Bagre, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Daniel said, yes, thanks, Dustin. Yes, big change, but I used to be a heavy equipment mechanic, so I'm ready to learn aircraft. Nice. Well, good luck with that. Guerrero Bagre said it's -2 here. Ooh, Daniel said it. Wind chill of -18. Fish in the Mid-South, I keep trying to give you a snow emergency.
He's crazy.
Brokeback Bob says -7 degrees here and feel like temp is -31 degrees. Holy cow. Where in the world are you? Where's Bob at? Just so I know never to go there.
Brokeback Bob?
Yeah.
Is it Missouri?
I don't know. Ooh.
Missouri?
All right, Guerrero. I'm never going to go where you're at either. He said real feel is -24.
Wow.
James Bailey said it's going to be 5 degrees where I'm at tomorrow. Wind chills making it 10 to 15 below zero. Whew.
That's awful.
The animal said Bob, Western Missouri, Northwest Missouri. Yep. The animal north of Kansas City, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't miss the plains of Kansas. I grew up on the plains of Kansas and Colorado.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop the wind. It just blows and blows and blows, and it's horrible. I don't miss it at all. I remember one time when I was growing up, and it's a small town in Colorado, just over the Kansas state line. I think the winds got up to 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And we had the 2 biggest pine trees in our front yard, right out front door, and the wind was blowing so hard you could see that the earth was breathing, like they were going to fall. Oh, Buck Williams said, "Don't worry, Dustin. It's on its way to you soon." Oh, yay!
Yay.
I'm so excited. Make sure I get gas for my generator so when the power goes out.
Yep.
Rod Knockers Fishing said that's why they have built so many wind farms in Dodge City. Yes. My cousin, my family's originally from Dodge City. My mom and my dad grew up there. Being in the city helps not get too cold. Yeah, you got a lot of winds or a lot of buildings blocking the wind. Joey, your chicken's surviving this Arctic blast. I'm afraid I'll have to pry mine off roost balls.
Yeah, I keep plenty of hay in mine, and they're got an enclosure. Well, they're free range, but I'll lock them up overnight or they get eat if I don't. Too many coyotes and stuff. I'm actually getting rid of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the coyotes been coming in my yard every night, and they're howling and stuff. And
Oh.
I
Just bring your chickens inside.
Keep them inside. No way.
Just give them their own room in the house. You'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Creo said currently own MRC, Mad Cats, B&M, Uncle Lou, and Catch the Fever rods. I've got a little of everything. Yeah, I have my first two rods that you'll see directly behind me. One is the white Catch the Fever rod, and the other one is the green Hellcat rod.
Mm-hmm.
My wife got me the Catch the Fever rod, I believe, got for me for my birthday and anniversary, and the Hellcat rod she got me for my birthday.
Okay.
But now I've given those to her since I have the Ancient Mariner stuff.
Howdy, how you tonight?
Crazy Cat Outdoors, how you doing?
They think that.
Buck says, "Dang, I keep calling you Justin, Dustin. I have a cousin named Justin. Sorry." That's okay. I have a lot of people call me that over the years. All right, let's hit that thumbs up. Buck Williams says we got 50 thumbs up and 52 people watching. Come on. Susquehanna Stan says, I have Rippin' Lips rods. I had them 5 years. Okay.
When I first started hardcore fishing, when I got the boat, all my stuff was Walmart stuff, and some of it was older stuff. It didn't take me long to go through them. I snapped the ends of them rods left and right.
Yeah, the Shakespeare Ugly Sticks I had a lot of those because my dad had those. Let's see, I don't think I have that reel anymore. Is Ed's shirt for everybody to see?
Yeah. That's a nice design.
It is.
Mid-South, you're crazy. Hit the thumbs up twice. Once for Justin instead of Dustin, and one for Jody. Snap.
Oh.
Where I was using heavy weights, I'd catch those rods and I'd snap the ends of them off. Which they was old. But I went through, I had to buy new rods and reels because I broke them all.
I'm still with you. I'm checking something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked about our watch hours. Unfortunately.
Yep, that's what I went with.
Yep. Yeah, Sean started with the Berkeley Big Game. He had a Bill Dance rod too, rod and reel combo that we initially used.
I got about 10 of them Berkeley Big Games at the house. I've retired. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So let's see. Right now.
Oh, hey.
It looks like it last updated on the 20th. And we're at 2721. So we're about 1280 away. What for our watch hours? Unfortunately, we couldn't use our channel tonight because I think I have less than an hour left on StreamYard for this month. So and what stinks about it is it resets tomorrow.
Well,
The 23rd.
In about 50 minutes.
Yep. Let's see. LG Bass said, I have Uncle Lou's, Muddy River, Mad Cats, and the newest FOA double Y rod. Freddie Outdoor Adventures Youth and Yak rod.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised Freddie missed the opportunity to come up and show them.
Brokeback Bob said, I have some of every rod manufacturer out there, but my go-to rods are my Uncle Lou and Mad Cat's rods.
Yeah.
Butterflies and Sunshine said, fish in the Mid-South. Hit the thumbs up a third time for Dustin, too. See, G-Stop Fishing said, what would be the most expensive rod combo and what would be the cheapest rod combo?
It's untelling. I mean, you can spend thousands of dollars if you really want to. Some of those reels are like them Dakotas. I don't think you can get them anymore, but it just depends on what you want. If you get a custom rod, I mean, I don't know what, like Lyle sells his fours. It's untelling.
Yeah.
$200 to $300 $200 to $400 is what you're looking at for what you usually see us fishing with.
Yes. I think because the Ancient Mariner rods or reels just went up.
Rods?
The reels were 85. Now I think they're 99.
Yeah.
The 6,000s, and the rods are 100, and I think the Leviathans are 119, and the Challenger rods, I believe, I want to say they're 150, but I'm not sure they're that high.
Yeah. Like this, I think it's like $129 reel. This rod used to be 89, the Big Cat Fever. I don't know if they went up or not. So that right there, you're looking at $219 before tax. Uncle Lou's is what, 89? And then these PC Fun reels are around about 60, I think. So this is a $150 combo. And this is a good combo right here. I think these rods are about 84 to 89. The Medicat, the Blue Cat, and the Kuma CLXs, they just went up in price, but these was 50, but I think they're running close to 70 now. And this is bringing a lot of good fish.
So Danimal just made a comment and said you can, once you start a live on StreamYard, you can keep going till you decide to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you run out of stream like hours.
I think it don't record.
Well,
hour.
Well, StreamYard doesn't record anyway. YouTube records it. I mean, you can record on StreamYard if you want to.
Yeah.
But I think YouTube records because we're on YouTube's platform. We're on StreamYard on YouTube's platform. Well, that doesn't sound right. We're going through StreamYard, but all your stuff is recorded on YouTube.
Alive, and I went over the 11-hour mark. I think it's 11 and a half hours. And I was catching fish, and the last 2 or 3 big fish I caught went over that mark. They's like 30-pound blue, 30-pound flathead. And everybody's like, well, it'll be recorded. It cut it off.
Yeah, YouTube.
It kept streaming live, but when you went back to watch it, it ended at that 11 and a half mark.
So I know if you use StreamYard, YouTube will only record up to, I think that, like you said, 11 and a half hours. Mm-hmm. But then because if you stop and restart then you can keep going.
Yeah.
If you're on the YouTube platform, I believe they only record 24 hours, or I think it's 24 hours a month. I think. It's not anything that I've really looked into. So there's probably somebody smarter than me out there. I know there's a lot of people out there smarter than me, but when it comes to the StreamYard and stuff, Creo's, let's see. You have a long playlist I can leave on overnight. Yes, I actually have all of our lives put in one playlist, and we have on average 4-hour lives. So I recognize that reel without hair in it.
This is actually one of them that reels it up in it.
The PC Fun reel.
Yeah, I get it in this reel a lot.
To finish answering the question from earlier, Creo said G-Style, the cheapest, but still will work, would be a Berkeley Big Game rod with a Shakespeare ATS, $60 total.
Yep, Berkeley Big Game. They're $22 at Walmart. Unless the price went up. Or if you depend on how big, I think one of them's higher than, I think if you get spinning rod, it might be higher than the casting. It's longer. I can't swear to it.
Perry Stanfield, how you doing? Says Creo, I still use Berkeley Big Game, catch several 50s on one, and one flathead, never had a problem with them. Yeah.
Yep.
It's really not about, I don't know. It's really not about the fishing rod. It's not about the fishing reel. That's not even about the line strength, really. I've seen people, Daryl pulled in that 63-pounder on that little itty bitty like Barbie rod or whatever it was with like 4 or 5, 6 pound test. So when they said it, I think they said it the other day on somebody's live that, most of the stuff that they sell is to catch the fish, or the angler, not the fish.
Yeah. I consider it my tool, my tools of the trade. And it's just like when you start out young, you start out with cheaper tools. But as you get older, what do? You start getting nicer tools. You upgrade because they're a little bit stronger. There's more eyes on them, or the eyes are the steel and not got that porcelain insert, things like that. Or the reel seats are aluminum instead of plastic.
Well, I mean, to that point, it's all about experience. Like, if you use something and you use it all the time, it's inevitable. You're going to think, well, maybe if it had this, or maybe if I had that, and you find another rod or reel that has that, then you're going to, I mean, you gravitate towards that because, oh, this is kind of an upgrade to what I had. Now this has what I want.
Yeah.
So
it makes your work easier. Some of the stuff, and I keep going back to this reel, but if I got a big fish on, I'm going to get in a lot easier with this big reel than I am the smaller. And that's why I like them. If I'm fishing somewhere for a big fish, I throw these in that spot.
Right.
Because I'm more than likely to get it in that one spot. You never know where the big fish is, but you kind of do know where might be, and that's where I throw my big reels at.
I will tell you, another thing that impresses me about these Challenger rods, these 7'6" rods.
Yeah.
Captain Spiro is a tuna fisherman by trade. That's what he does. He catches 300-pound tunas on these rods.
Woo.
So he uses these in his profession.
Yep.
He will not sell anything that he has not used himself. Mm-hmm. So he's got videos out there. I think he posted them on Facebook of him reeling in a huge 300-pound tuna on one of these things. I mean, the reel's a lot bigger. It's not one of the 6-7,000. It's a bit bigger reel, but these rods are sturdy, they're robust, but yet sensitive. Like they've got, there's something he posted on Facebook recently. It's wrapped. It's 3 different types of materials that these rods are wrapped in, or wrapped with. So, I think that 3rd type is to make them a little bit more sensitive, that have a really good backbone. See, G-Style, have you ever had a catfish snap your line because your drag was too tight, even with the heavy line? You want to answer that first, Jody?
Well, that's why I don't use 30. I bumped up to 50 and that don't happen anymore, except one time when I was at the dock and they throwed it out and it went to peel and drag, never let up. It's gonna spool me is what it's gonna do. And I was just standing there watching it, and Tom's like, get it, pick it up. And Aaron, they's all both screaming at me to get that, And I'm a boat fisherman, and it's a little different from a dock, And to me it is. And so I went over there, and all I did when I picked up the rod, I touched the line, and it snapped it instantly.
Wow.
They never quit peel and drag the whole time till it did that.
Huh? That's weird.
That's how big of a fish it was.
Yeah, I bet.
And I thought Tom was gonna cry. And I tried to hand it to him to pass off, because it broke off. I didn't want it. He's like, I don't want it now. He said, I'm not taking that rod. You done broke that fish off. And all I did was pick it up and touch the line. But it had that much pressure and drag on it that's all it took. Then that was 50 pounds.
So, like I said, this 55-pounder I caught on Sunday, I believe was on this particular rod and reel set. But one of the things I do, I try to, if I remember correctly, is after I cast my lines, I mean, I go and I pull the drag to make sure the drag is not too tight.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my drags are set so I can pull out line, fairly easy. Not, I mean, where you can feel it once you've done it enough. You can feel it.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they set theirs to a poundage. I have no idea what pound my drag is set to. But I do know that I kind of know the feeling of it when I go to pull it out, if that's too loose or too tight.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Buck. I appreciate that. Letting everybody know if you're not on a phone, please play our TSW's channel in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
I pop the hook out of my big fish normally. The ones these monsters that I'm missing.
Uh-huh.
I fit 125 minutes. As soon as I hooked it, I had this big, I call them red eye, but I guess they're rock bass. And it kept jumping around. I got tired of watching the pose. So I picked it up and I cut in half. I didn't even take it off the hook, just dropped it back down. And all of a sudden, it went down and started going this way and turned my pontoon completely around.
Oh, wow.
And I fit that thing 25 minutes and my back started hurting. I got tired of fighting it. So I cranked the drag down. I'm like, you're not, because I would reel it up and it would go back down. And I'm like, you're not going back down again. It did. It popped the hook.
Oh, wow.
I cried. I screamed. I cussed.
Yeah, we were getting nervous on Sunday because at one point we saw the tail. I mean, that fish was long.
Yeah.
We saw the tail, and I didn't really. I messed with my drag in small increments while I was doing it, but up there towards the end, what? My dog wants me to pet her. When I got it close to the boat, in order to make sure I got it to where stand 3 could net it, I tightened the drag down more than I felt comfortable doing, but I had to do that in order to get it to stay in a spot where we could get in the net. Mm-hmm. I got real nervous, but we were able to get it. So,
yeah. And then I had one that day. I caught that 40 and 50 pounder. About 10 minutes after the 50 pounder come through, I had one, the J-Dog pole. It's got braid on it. It took it and was pulling drag, and it bent it in half and was pulling drag. And then all of a sudden, the pole bounced up in the air. And I was fishing over a ledge, so I guess it broke that braid off.
Oh, yeah.
Edge.
I've heard, like I said, I don't like braid for one simple reason. And that's if you get a rat's nest in braid, and you get a knot in there, you ain't getting it undone. If you get it in mono, you're still able to. It might take you a while, but you still have an opportunity to get that knot out of that rat's nest out of there. With braid, the odds of if you get a knot in there, the odds of getting that out is slim to none. Mm-hmm. But I've also heard that even with one nick in the braid, it really weakens it.
Yeah.
But if you can get a couple of nicks in the mono because it's not individual strings. Mm-hmm. So one nick's not gonna. I mean, it does weaken it, but I don't think as much as it does if you have braid.
Hey, Sunny Cat.
So Danimal was back to that comment earlier. Danimal said, "Yes, Dustin. If you're about out of hours on free StreamYard, once you start, you can keep going and it won't stop you. I did my 24-hour live on the free plan and started the last part with like an hour left. Wow. Okay." That's good to know. Mid-Tennessee Hogcatcher, how you doing?
Howdy.
Thank you, Buck Williams. I appreciate it. Sean and I really appreciate everybody's help, getting everything, with our watch hours. Everybody that plays our videos and our lives and everything to help us get these watch hours. We really appreciate it.
Something else I do, like when this one starts getting low and I need to respool it, I'll take one of my smaller reels and reel this line onto it to respool them with. because it don't hold near as much as this one does. So you don't have to waste all that. You just got to plan it out.
Half Century Catfishing, how you doing?
Hey, Half Century. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Twisted Tackle wants to know if anybody knows how the Hellcats are. Are they worth trying? I mean, I know people that have. I think Ed Evans has nothing but Hellcats on his boat. I have a green Hellcat back here. It's a catch the fever rod. It's a good quality rod. I mean, again, it's all about a lot of them. The green rods, the orange rods, the pink rods. Those all colors are nothing but something to catch the eye of the people who are buying them.
Yeah.
The quality rods are out. The quality is in they're in there.
Mm-hmm.
The catch the fever rods are all quality rods. It doesn't matter what you get. In my opinion, the Ancient Mariner rods are quality rods. It doesn't matter which one you get.
Mm-hmm.
The Mad Cats rods, I've never fished with them, but I know a lot of people that rave about them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It's ones that have been around for a while, and they are tried and true.
Mm-hmm.
Shizzle said Hellcats are awesome on a boat, super light and come out of the rod holder easily.
Yep. And I'm kind of stingy, when it comes to buying some of this stuff, and I cheap out on the line. I get the Bass Pro Offshore Angler 50-pound high vis yellow line, and it does just fine for me. But sometimes people give me stuff they don't like, and I'll finish up the roll. Like there's some Whisker Seeker on here, and there's some slime line. And if I'm in a pinch, I get the Berkeley Big Game. Is it called Berkeley Big Game, the line?
I don't know. I've never used it.
I don't much care for it, but I do use it when I have to, because I live so rural. Hey, Lisa.
Wow. Twisted Tackle said he had a cat break 100-pound braid in the Mississippi one time. Wow.
Yeah.
Creo said, I've never had one just break me off. It's always been because of an abrasion or damage. Fishing with JBT, how you doing?
Hattie.
Half Century said, I was fighting a 45-pound ham at Kroger's the other day.
Yeah.
Sunny Cat Nabber Parker, how you doing? Says hi, y'all.
Hattie.
Let's see. Buck Williams said, I had a big salmon straighten a hook once. I tried to keep him from running to the fast current in the Niagara River.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first night, now that he's talking about bent hooks, that very first night that we did your show, Sean and I, that 31-pounder at the end we pulled in,
mm-hmm.
He took the hook and he bent the shank 90 degrees. And that was a bear getting that out of his mouth because you had to fight the hook was like bent over on top of itself.
Yeah.
But that was a Gamagatu circle hook and it did not break. See, JBT said Hellcats are my favorite rods. They are my favorite out of all of them that I have tried.
Yeah.
Danimal said it's a hype rod, but I've seen big fish caught on them and they're good. I mean, again, I'm not going to say they're all made the same because they're not. But nowadays, the quality rods, you get what you pay for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, the quality rods are the ones that are tried and true. The ones that, I mean, the Berkeley Big Game. If you can catch a 60, 70-pound catfish on a Berkeley Big Game.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't try to muscle it in, like you could break it if you try to do too much with it. But if you do what you're supposed to do, I mean, you can get like I said, any fish on any rod.
Yeah.
Ed Evans said, I love my Hellcats and will not change. He's got a beautiful setup on his boat, though. His lights and his black lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll say those green rods glow really well in the black lights.
He works hard at his stuff. He wants it
Yes,
to
he
be.
does.
And it usually is. He does a good job.
Yes, ma'am. JBT said the orange Hellcats glow bright. I need mine to light up with a black light because I night fish 75% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Elliott, how you doing? Good evening.
Howdy, howdy.
G Style said, has anybody used the Mojo's catfish rod?
Mm-hmm.
I have not. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Daniel said, I can't let myself spend $140 each for a rod just because the name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you there.
Hey, Danikin, how you doing?
See, JBT said, Dan, the Hellcat rods are made of carbon of a carbon blank. That's why the price. Rod Knocker said, Jody, be careful with that offshore line. I had a new spool that was spliced with uni knot mid spool. Was shocked.
Really?
Huh.
The only one I've got I didn't like, I bought this 100-pound, Big Mike uses it to do his leader lines. He can cut these with his teeth.
Ouch.
It's too hard to tie the knot in it for me. So that's why I put it. I thought, well, someone put it in my mind to make a pole with it, so I did.
There you go.
Now, I pulled up an anchor with that 50-pound line one time.
Oh, wow.
I was hooked up to it, and I'm like, I thought, I was on a live, and I'm like, I'm going to be so mad if this is a cement block or a dead body. It's a great big anchor like you see on a big ship. And I kept it.
Well, on one stand day, I try to keep 2 anchors in my boat.
Mm-hmm.
On one stand day, I lost my bigger anchor. It got caught up on, I believe, on the buoy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very next week, I pulled up another big anchor downriver, the same size as the one I'd lost.
Wow.
So Sunny Cat Nabber Parker said, it doesn't matter what line you use. If you play the fish correct, you won't lose it. Most fish are lost because of damage.
Yeah.
Great point.
Or inexperience.
Right. Like I said, I've seen people pull in. Stan 3's wife, I believe, pulled in a 60-pounder on one of those little rods.
Yeah.
And it's like 6-pound braid. But if you know what if you let the fish do most of the work, you'll get it to the boat. It's not, doesn't matter what size of rod you have, what size of line you have, you can do it if you know what you're doing.
I've seen that. His name ain't Mean Gene. What is his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Something Gene Fish and
The
these.
fishing machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can pull big fish in on this little lightweight tackle. Took him forever, but he did it.
Yeah, it can be done.
Yeah.
Creo said our 76-pound boat record was caught on an ugly stick in some fast current.
Mm-hmm.
Missy Kennedy, I love a Mad Cat's rod, and if there is another one out there that I would like better, I'm ready to try it. Daniquin Aquatics, how you doing? Joe, you may have said hi to him earlier, but I didn't see him. So what's up, fish people?
Howdy.
Stephen Chisholm says, hello, Pontoon, Jody, and Dustin. How you doing, Stephen?
Howdy, Stephen.
See, another question from G Style. What are y'all thoughts on crimping or knots? What do you use? Jody, you want to go ahead and take that one first?
I've had some give to me that's crimped. Appreciate it, but I end up retying them. Because
Really?
the circle hook was crimped instead of tied, and I was losing fish and couldn't figure out why. And then I was looking at my line, and I'm like, that's a crimped circle hook. It's not, got the snell knot on it. So it would flop around just like the swivel. And I don't think it was setting. So I cut them and I retied them.
Gotcha. I've never used a, go ahead.
I used a swivel and the hook, but I did retie them all.
I've never used a crimp line before, but what I've seen from the hooks themselves, I just I don't know that I would have felt comfortable because, like you said, they kind of just dangle there.
Yeah. You can tell a difference in your hookup too if you use them.
Oh
And
yeah,
I would have left the sinker on, but the way I tie my knot, I have to have that free end. So I had to cut. I didn't, it didn't bother me that not the sinker, but the swivel being crimped, but I had to cut it to tie.
right. We use the Palomar knot for pretty much as much as possible because that's one of the strongest knots out there, in my opinion. And again, I got that from Dieter doing a knot test on one of his lives.
Yeah.
For one of his videos that he did probably late last year or the year before. And that was one of the strongest knots. And I tie that. I mean, like I did on the live, on the video we put out. Hey, my dog is licking the handle of one of my rods. It's got catfish slime on it. Stop licking it. Some people, they don't like the Palomar knot because it's, I mean, you have to, especially if you have something on the end already.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I have to retie something, I have to bring that all the way back through, I will do that just so I can make sure I have that knot.
I do too. The big long sabiki rig, I'll pull it all the way through.
Yep.
The spooks and all of it.
So that as far as far as crimp knot, I've never used it. Jody wasn't too impressed with the hooks being crimped. And I just don't, I wouldn't have felt comfortable with the crimped hooks. So I like snailing all of our hooks.
Yeah.
JBT said Kayak Catfish used a $20 roughneck medium heavy rod for a year, and Steve Douglas used Zebco's Omniflex Mono. So it all depends on how you play the fish. With all that being said, buy what you want. Buy what makes you comfortable. Hey, puppy.
That Zebco Omniflex at Walmart for $1.98. I have pulled logs up off the bottom and unhooked my hook and let it drop back down.
Wow.
That's tough stuff. It's extremely thick though. You can't get as much on your reel. And the spool's only so big, but you can't, $1.98, you can't beat it.
Right.
Pound line.
Buck Williams said, Jody, did you like my new Christmas tree in a box?
I did. It was sandwiches shaped in the shape of a tree.
Yo.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Richard Jean, the fishing machine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel.
And you know what? Something talking about line. I'm bad to fill mine up too much, and it'll stretch, and then it's hard to get it back in. Sometimes sometimes I've had to recut it before and retie my stuff.
Right. One of the things, dog, stop. She's very needy. But one of the things I'll do, and I just did this, I think a month ago, is I unspooled one of my reels. Then I spooled it on an older reel, so it was back to the way it was. And then I turned around and spooled it back on the reel. So I put the front part of the line on the back part of the new reel.
Yeah.
So I'm using the back part that you never really use.
Yep.
I try to do that as much as possible because you get to double the use out of your line.
Yeah.
Double the life.
He said,
JBT, that's what we do too. We use the Palomar knots for everything in the main line, and we snell the hooks.
Catfish was on the live with me one time, and I was putting on a piece of bait, and he said, Jody, that's the biggest knot I've ever saw in my life. He could see it without me even trying to show it to him. How big my knot was where I tied it.
Yeah, I went fishing with a guy I'd met. I'd never been fishing with him before, and I looked at his knots, and it looked like he just on his hook, he put it through, and he tie a knot, he tie another knot, tie another knot. He had like 7 knots on this thing. I'm like, what is that? He probably just wants to play.
Yeah, and I had this knot that wasn't exactly tight. And James said, what's this about? And I said, I'm waiting on the fish to cinch it down.
Hey, it's underwater. You don't have to put your. It's wet, so that's a good point, JBT. He said the best knot in the world is the one that the person could tie right every time.
Yeah. I use
Absolutely.
the no snail or the no knot snail and the polymer.
I've used the no knot snell before, and I'm not 100% comfortable with it. I mean, I'm probably about 90, 95%, but there's just that 5% about it backing off, and I'm untying itself for some reason. So we snell ours differently.
They're playing.
The animal says a knot is a knot if it's tied right.
I disagree.
Oh yeah.
I think some knots is better than others, but that's why they make so many knots and so many different things, different hooks. Use what's best for you and what you can do to tie the best.
Like they always say, you use what makes you most comfortable and confident.
And the modern way of saying that is you do you, boo.
I guess I'm not modern. Let's see. Creo said that's where good quality mono really shines. It'll tie a much better knot than the cheap stuff. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That right there is something I'm guilty of.
I don't always do it.
The polymer knot, you're supposed to do that. The no knot snell, you're not. But somebody was teaching me how to skipjack tie these rigs like he does. And I didn't wet the knot. He called me out on it. And I'm like, well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And he said, in the time you don't, it's the one that's going to matter when you lose that fish. So.
Yeah, I don't. For this comment, Palomar to mainline, snell on circle hooks, double clinch knot on drifting. I don't get that technical as far as a different knot for dragging or drifting versus just anchor fishing, because I tie the polymer knot on everything, on my sinkers. I mean, on our three ways, I tie the polymer knot on this one, and this one, on all three of them the polymer knots. And then all the way up on my snap swivel, the same thing. My main line to my snap swivel is a polymer knot. The knot below that is a polymer knot. I mean, sorry about the debris on the tip. So we use the polymer knot for everything. And then except for the hooks, of course, we snell those.
Yeah.
Sunny Catnapper said, Creo, I've seen a lot of fish lost because the knot came undone.
You can, ain't it curly when the knot comes undone or if it breaks?
Yeah, you can tell.
Because we had one happen about 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
We was like accusing each other of tying that knot. But it was actually mine. I've got some new leader line and it wasn't worth a crap. I throwed it away and retied what I had out.
Yeah, Creo was saying, exactly, not enough tagline, because it doesn't matter if you have a really nice snell knot or a really nice snell on your hook, but your tagline is right up next to that, you're gonna pull it right off.
Yeah.
So that's a good point, Creo. Or sloppy knot usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Daniel says I polymer snap swivel on the main line, snell the hook on the leader, and figure 8 knot for the loop. And again, that's all about how you use your equipment too. What kind of like I know Stan likes to he has the weight on the bottom and he has a loop of line, like he has a loop there, so he puts it through the eye of the weight and it can go around the weight. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Else I don't trust the snap swivels.
Oh, I use the heck out of snap swivels.
You ain't never had someone straighten them out?
Sorry, I'm gonna get this debris off here.
I've had two get straightened out and make me lose fish. One of them was a spoonbill. It was so big I couldn't get in the boat. I was by myself.
So the one thing I've had an issue with, and this is on my sinker slide, is this. I've had this either like pop open, or this piece right here is bent straight. That's where I put the weight. But as far as snap swivels go, yeah, I use the snap swivel. Can't. And I've never had an issue with now. These snap swivels I use are saltwater rated snap swivels for 100 pounds.
Okay.
So I bought these specifically because they were rated for that weight. I mean, now don't get me wrong, I have had some bend on me, but I've never had one straighten out and lose a fish because of it. And I put snap swivels on the end of every single one of my main lines so that I can switch out my leader lines quickly.
Yeah.
Let's see. JBT said, yeah, Palomar isn't good on a fluorocarbon line because it'll slip. That's good news. Good to know.
I think that's what I had bought. A fancy leader line, new leader line.
Fluorocarbon?
I think so. It was Stren maybe or Trilene. I can't remember which one it was. Trilene, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember Stren or Trilene.
Missy said, I always use a double improved clinch knot. Yep. Yeah. Buck Williams said, me too, Missy.
Let's see. 1 hour, 51 minutes.
Yeah, we were about 3 minutes late. Fishing with JBT says, it looks like a piggy's tail if you tied your knot wrong, and it'll be a cleaner cut snap if the knot didn't fail. Yep.
Yeah.
Missy, that's right, and that's a good point, Missy. She said, I'm convinced with them. Ain't you, Buck? Because Buck said that he used the same thing. If that's what makes you, if that's what you're confident with, then that's what you should use.
Yeah.
Because if you're not confident with a polymer knot, it's because there's something about that knot you're not sure of. Either A, you don't know how to tie up a certain part of it, or you don't know if you got it right. So if that's the case, and if you are 100% confident in what you are tying, use it, because that's the best knot for you.
Yeah.
I know I sound a lot like Stan too now.
Hey, Fossil Creek.
Creo said, I use Andy Monster main line and either Andy or Cast King saltwater leader line. Yeah, I got, like I said, I got 30-pound Whisker Seeker line mono, but my leader line is 80-pound test. It's Salt King, I think, or Salt something. It's actually comes in those rolls that are our leader lines.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let's see. JBT said, I use that way, Dan, when I'm fishing for fun and eater-sized fish. A great way to have those setups for kids is a lot easier for fast rigging. I've gone so long without breaking off. Where'd it go? That my sinker slide was almost worn through. Always want to check your slide for wear if you use them. Yeah, one of the reasons I switched to sinker slides because I was using like that that no roll you got on the line. I stopped using those because they were fraying my line.
Yeah.
That's why I went to the sinker slides. Now I know you can get some of those weights with the little plastic inserts in it, but I feel this way. If I don't feel I have enough weight, I can easily change out the weight. With those, you have to cut the line, put a new weight on, and retie it.
The wind set in here just then.
What's that?
I can hear the wind out there kicking in.
I heard it too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's rain and wind.
Wow.
Scary.
Let's see. Daniel said, JBT, plenty of big fish have. Oh, let me just put this on screen. Plenty of big fish have been caught using snap swivels. Has nothing to do with being a kid or a fun setup. Yeah, like I said, for me, the only reason I use a snap swivel is because it allows me to change out my leader line quickly. So if I want to go, if I want to drag, if we're in current, right, and we're in a tidal river, so if we're in current and the current dies down, and I'm using a Carolina rig or a Santee Cooper rig, and I have a disc sinker on. If we want to drag, it takes me all of 2 minutes to swap out all of my leader lines to my peg floats.
Yeah.
And then switch out my so let's see this. Yeah. So when we're anchor fishing and I'm using Carolina rig, I put my weight on the sinker slide.
Yeah.
So if we're drift fishing, my weight goes on the snap swivel. So it takes me, like I said, for this one, it would take me 30 seconds to pop this snap swivel off, take this leader line off, put my new one on, put a weight on, close it up, and I'm ready to drag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have, that's why I did it, for versatility.
Yeah. I'll tell you something I mess up on all the time. That 3-way swivel, I tied the wrong line to the wrong.
This is the Triple City Angler 3-way.
Yeah. I mess that up all the time.
So they have the other 3-ways that are like the solid, looks like a kind of a, it's got 3 points to it, the circles on them. Mm-hmm. I like this one specifically, and I got this specifically for live baits because it goes around, it spins around so much easier on these. The other one you can't, they don't do that.
Yeah.
Some of the other snap swivels are harder to do that, so I specifically got this one for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
I love throwing me out a live bluegill.
Yeah. I don't like the rod bouncing the whole time. I hate watching it. Anticipation.
Let's see. Rod Knocker says stainless steel over brass swivels to mainline and chain SS ball swivels between the leader ends. I've never used a chain swivel before. You know what we're talking about? It's got like multiple swivels on it. Yeah. I've never used one of those because I've never had a problem with my line getting all twisted up. That's right, Sunny Cat. If you're not confident in any of your equipment, you're not going to enjoy fishing. Absolutely. Let's see. JBT said, yeah, I know. I use them, and they are great rigs. I was just talking about the smaller snap swivels for the fast rigging meters. Yeah, I got you, JBT. And that's why I use them. I use them because we're on a tidal river. We got to go from anchor fishing or spot locking to dragging. And it doesn't take me long to switch out my baits or switch out my leader lines and all that, my weights and stuff. Daniel says, oh, heck yeah. Or, oh, okay. Yeah, I use bigger snaps for my catfish rods. Why not usually? Tony Harrison, how you doing? Catfish Sumo, no roll sinkers. Gotcha. Yeah, I have all my sinkers out in my truck. But like I said, Ed Evans made me some of the made Sean and I some of the disc sinkers, and he's gonna make us some bigger ones too, and that's gonna be nice.
These dogs.
I like how your puppy's nice and calm now.
No, they ain't. You want me to get them started? You ready?
No. It was more your laugh that did it.
Okay. This is a Christmas present. I love it.
It fits your personality, Jody.
It's an improvement.
I bet you Chewbacca never got his hair caught in a reel.
Probably not.
JBT said those snap swivels you can bring in a tree with them. They are strong. I use 3/0. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what these are, but these are, like I said, these are 100-pound rated snap swivels. So they're pretty sturdy.
Mm-hmm. It's 12 o'clock.
All right. Oh, I hear. Is it raining bad now?
Yeah.
I hear the wind too.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to call it then?
Yeah, I was only going to do 2 hours.
All right. Well, sorry for those comments we didn't get to. Rowdy Roy, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Ronnie Oakley, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. We appreciate everybody that came in this evening. Thank you for all your questions and your comments. That's it. You know, we really do this without you. Jody and I just be here talking to ourselves.
Yep.
So thank you all so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Chewbacca says, Merry Christmas, everybody.
And I'll say it in another language.
All right. Hope everybody stays warm, stays safe, has a wonderful Christmas weekend, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.